It's a special coverage of the mass shooting in Dallas, Texas on last night. A total of 12 officers were shot. Of those 12, 5 officers have been confirmed dead. A lot surrounding this story. The identity of the suspect that was killed by police officers overnight has been released. He has been identified as 25-year-old Micah X. Johnson, Micah Xavier Johnson. And here's a picture of him on the screen. If you saw any of the video from last night, you know not only the scale, the scope, the magnitude of it, but you realize just as soon as you saw this person in body armor in action that this guy had military training. And that has been confirmed. He is a U.S. Army veteran. And here he is. Another photo of him that was provided by the media. This is where they have referred to him as Micah X instead of Micah Xavier Johnson, of course, forwarding a particular narrative. Now, to be clear, in negotiations with the police officers last night, the police chief has confirmed that Micah, Mr. Johnson, whatever you want to call him, said that he wanted to kill white people, that he wanted to kill white police officers. He was upset about the killings of African-American men, and he was upset because of Black Lives Matter. They do have other people in custody who are who they're investigating, interrogating at this time. However, the police chief said that this gentleman insisted on the fact that he was not connected with any other groups and that he did this alone. These were the words that the police chief stated. Now, that's just the words of the killer, right? That could mean the exact opposite. It could mean that he is connected to some larger organization and that he did not act alone. However, it does put it into context, the scope. If this was perpetrated by one man, then there are a lot of conversations that we have to have. You know, we have to talk about a lot of things that people are not going to want to talk about today. But if one man was able to inflict this much damage on an entire department of police officers, and of course, this took place at the end of a protest, a Black Lives Matter protest. The protest was completely peaceful up until 9 o'clock when the shooting started. And this shooting took place between 9 o'clock all the way until early in the wee hours of the morning. He was not apprehended, or cornered rather, until after midnight. The last bit of footage that came in of when he killed the 5th officer, and I'll do my best to get the names of all the officers. I think they've only released the name of one officer who has been killed. Our condolences, our thoughts, and our you know, they are our servants, and they they have families that are going to grow up without their, we don't even know if they were all men who were killed. There could have been some, I don't know. We don't have a lot of details. There's a lot we do not know. But what we do know is that it's absolute carnage that took place last night, overnight in Dallas. And the ramifications, the implications will go long and go far. So the lines are open, 857-600-0518. Special coverage. I know it's a different time. You're not used to having, I'm not on until the nighttime, but this is just that significant and that important. So I want you to get a chance to chime in on the conversation. A few other details about this is the manner in which the Dallas Police Department eliminated the threat or terminated the suspect. The police chief stated that the police department deployed a robot that was armed with explosives. They detonated the explosives and killed the suspect. The police chief said that this was done because the suspect, even through negotiations, told him that he was intent on killing more police officers, that this was just beginning and that the end is coming. Another confirmation that I had that this was a military individual, someone from the military, was his usage of the terms of IED, that they would find the IEDs. And because of that threat, the police chief said that they deployed a robot with explosives. They detonated the explosives, and there you have it. They killed Micah Xavier Johnson. All right. So you have to say something about this. I don't think that I have ever heard of the police force in the United States deploying explosives on a robot to kill a suspect. So this is unprecedented. This is unprecedented in a lot of ways. The number of police officers killed, more police officers were killed last night than since 9/11. And if you take it out of context of 9/11 and the Oklahoma City bombing, this is the deadliest day for police officers in the last 60 years. Now, we will talk about all of the implications, all the underlying conversations and debates. But one thing is for certain, that there are 5 officers who are dead. And also in the midst of this, we can't forget the 2 civilians. 2 civilians were also wounded in this carnage. So I want to play a couple of clips. The footage is a little difficult to watch and listen to, but I want you to get the idea of the scope and the scale of this. And the first clip I'm going to play is from the protest at the moment that the shooting started. So let's listen in. And this is really just the chaos of the crowd trying to get away, and the police officers coming or rushing onto the scene. You can't really hear any. Yeah, okay, so you don't hear any gunfire at this point. The second clip, you can actually hear the scale, and you can see in this clip, you can see the officer, you can see the Army vet in his fatigues, in his khaki pants. It's very blurry, but you can see the skill and the precision with which he moved. Once I saw this last night, I knew right away that this guy was ex-military, or at a bare minimum, he was paramilitary. But it has come out that Micah Xavier Johnson is a U.S. Army veteran. So watch this next clip. It's a little difficult. It's a little fuzzy, but I want to make sure that you get a chance to see it as well. The suspect pulled up in this black SUV, and there he is behind the pillar on the right, shooting. And at this point, he's dropping clips, magazine rounds. Okay, so that's another clip. Now there's a third clip that I won't show because it actually does show a police officer being killed. But you can see Micah Xavier. This is allegedly, at this point, the person we're seeing is believed to be Micah Xavier Johnson. You can see that he is maneuvering. He is maneuvering tactically, like with precision, and he sneaks up behind a police officer so quickly, so fast, and executes the police officer, assassinates the police officer from behind, point blank range. So I won't show that, but I only mentioned it because this guy was well prepared. But as you saw video come out of it last night, you thought that you realized this had to be more than one person. Here's the last bit of footage, and I believe you can hear the gun, the exchange.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Okay. So again, you hear this guy was armed to the teeth. I mean, it was believed that this was sniper fire. The first 4 officers who were down were all down in rapid succession. So if it was any sniper fire, it was extremely precise. But all of that at this point is speculation because it's starting to sound like it was only one person. that's the type of language that it's gearing towards. Last night, overnight, everyone believed that it had to be a coordinated attack where people were triangulating their positions, where snipers were laying down cover fire from above, and someone was on the ground doing the close up killing. And this was the general conversation last night. But when you woke this morning, you found out that it seems more and more likely that this could have been done by one individual. That's not confirmed. Again, that's all speculation, but there's only one suspect who is confirmed to have been involved, who is now dead, and that is 25-year-old Micah Xavier Johnson, a former he's a U.S. Army veteran.